Want my dinner show? Yeah. Because I just wanted to come on your show. Why? Because I like Bro, bro, if you guys didn't see this interview, oh my God. Did anybody see what Tyson? Listen what Deontay Wilder just said.
My mother tried to set me up, to have the baby. She ejected my sperm in her and ran in the bathroom and locked the door. And that's how we had her.
Really?
Yeah. Truth be told, she don't even know I know this.
Bro,
But I'm telling it on to the world.
it gets better.
I'm smart. You know, when we was having sex, when I came, I used to come with her stomach. I used to.
This guy out here is wow, boy. He talking about Deontay Wilder out here. Wow, boy. Shit. God damn, boy. Go watch that interview. He was talking. I don't even know what to take. I don't even know what to make of Deontay Wilder. I don't even know what to bet on Deontay Wilder at your own risk. Anyway, guys, it is Thursday, April 2nd, 10 a.m. here in sunny, beautiful Sydney, Australia. Wherever you are in the world, I say welcome. Guys, we are a growing community. Click the link that's pinned in the comment section. Become part of our JSB Professional Betting Discord. We're approaching 500 VIPs. You can enter on YouTube, become a JSB Insider on YouTube, get members-only live streams. You get access to myself on YouTube, the live chats, all my picks and parlays. You could also enter the Discord by becoming a Patreon. The Patreon, you get members-only live streams in Patreon. Also, all my tickets, all of my bets, and access to the Discord. I will keep that link pinned in the comment section. But crazy, mate. So today on this live stream, I'm going to take your questions. Go to the Patreon and the members section. I have 6 tickets posted already. There's 6 of my bets that are live. Today I gave you guys I'll read all 6 for you. There is a lot of fights to choose from. So if you're in the Discord, you would have heard me say this earlier today. The secret today will be to not get greedy. When you're putting together your tickets and you want to add that 5th leg, stop it at 4. When you want to add that 7th leg, stop it at 5. Because the last thing we ever want to do is get greedy, and then you lose a leg, and then you lose all your tickets. So just keep that in mind. Have a long-term approach to this. Don't be so impulsive in wanting to make all the money in one bet or 1 week. Look at this as a long game we play, baby. Put together some wins. Create some positive momentum. Learn something. Learn the strategy. Long game, baby. Yeah, pull out that driver. So, in the Discord, you guys have I did a UK, no, I gave you guys a Method of Victory triple. So this is at plus 233. You guys have my prop of the week at plus 120. I have a UK Moneyline double at plus 113. Guys, if you're new to the channel, all of my bets are always plus money, by the way. I have an Australian Method of Victory double at plus 105. And then you have my long parlay at plus 321. And then my safety net parlay at plus 110. I've been searching for you guys, trying to find you guys a dog. Right now, the 2 dogs I have my eyes on, one of them is Irma Garcia. She's fighting Emma Dolan. Irma Garcia kind of ticks that box of an underdog, a Mexican underdog, going to the UK, 30-plus pro fights, fighting against a prospect/contender in the UK with under 10 pro fights. Irma is the world champion. She's also 44 years old. My hesitation on her right now, she's plus 330. I can't find much tape. So right now, look, I don't like forcing things. We have hit our dog of the week 7 or 8 weeks in a row. But you guys know last week I didn't give you a safety net parlay because I didn't think there were any. I didn't like anything. So this week, my point is I don't like forcing it. This week I might not give you a dog. I don't. There was one other one I might look at. Sorry for nasally. I just got done sparring, and every time I get hit in the nose, I get like an allergic reaction. So my face got kind of dinged up a bit. Kind of redness here. Um, I'll pull the odds up in a second for you guys. Yeah, they've added a couple fights. Irma Garcia right now is sitting at. So there's two right now I'm kind of flirting with. Garcia's at plus 320. And then there's a fight on the Tszyu undercard. And there's a Kiwi fighting that's a dog. So Max Reeves is $1.49 against Francis Watai. Francis Watai is plus 185. I got some insider information about this card. My guy, he's a Commonwealth fighter. He's an amateur. He spars a lot of these guys. He's sparring right now at Bondi Boxing Club. So I've sent him messages. When he gets back to me about the Kiwi, if I jump on the Kiwi, you guys will be the first to know. I know some of you guys are thinking Chloe Watson might be on upset alert. Um, I think Havanesian beats Eduardo Baez. Eduardo Baez is neither guy's tape is excellent, but right now Eduardo Baez is a plus 170. You guys messaged me about that fight. I don't think he beats Izet. And then Andres Cortez is a plus 110. I just think that Erickson Garcia's his skill set, his speed, I think Garcia's just overall bag is a little bit more tighter, cleaner than Cortez. So I actually have Erickson Garcia on the money line at $1.85 on a parlay of mine. But other than that, I mean, if you guys are feeling froggy, your boy Deontay Wilder's a dog at plus 170. And then I know a lot of people are looking at Andrei Saavedra. He's a dog at plus 135. I just don't see it. I think Denzel Bentley beats him everywhere. I think Denzel Bentley stops him. I got to be honest with you. So Denzel Bentley, the odds are currently going back into Bentley's favor because a lot of money has come in on Saavedra. I don't like Saavedra's feet. I don't like his resume. I don't like the wars he's been in. He turns 35 next month. I like this recent version of what Bentley looks like. I like his motivations and I like his jab. You know, a famous coach once said, "A right hand will take you around the block. A jab will take you around the world." I'm gonna start saying what's up to the boys, guys. We're 7 minutes in. Julius is backstage, so guys, if Julius is one of our JSB insiders, he's a sharp. You guys have seen him on the live multiple times, so he's backstage waiting for me to bring him on. And I'm gonna say what's up to the chat first, and then I'm gonna bring Julius. Give me a second. I'll bring you on in a second. All right. Deontay's completely gone. True. Hello, Johnny. What's cracking? Yeah, Julius has an eye on a couple parlays he wants to share with the squad. So he's coming on in a second. I already answered that. Big parlay. Guys, wherever you're tapping in from, like my live stream. Like this video. Let's go. Show some love. If you're seeing me live with my big head, like this video. Let's go. Julius is coming on in a second. I got to get my screen right. Sent from Pet says Vidal rally by decision. I'm high on it. Me too. Okay, let's add this to the stage. Share screen. Sports bet. Okay, there we go. Add stage. Boom. Boom. And then here's Julius. Add stage. Jay.
Oh, what's up? What's up, man?
Your volume. We had it. Could you hear? I can't hear you.
What's up? What's up?
You know what? I had trouble with this last time. This is crazy. General. Last time when Paulie was on, I couldn't get the audio on. There might be something messed up on my end. Let me see. You still can't. I can. Could you? Hey guys in the chat, could you hear Julius? Once again, you guys could hear Julius, but I can't. What the hell is going on? Julius, man, give me a second. iPad microphone. Guests. Audio. Julius, talk. So everybody could hear Julius. I can't. Ain't that about a bitch? Uh-huh. Does anybody know how I could fix this? Because this is 2 live streams in a row where I had, my guest. I haven't been able to hear him. So Julius, if you wanna control I'll give you the platform while I try to fix this. I won't be able to interact though, and I won't be able to hear you. Actually, yeah, I can. I'll turn it on my other device. I'll do what I did last time with Paulie. I really need somebody to help me out with this stuff. I'm just winging it. Paulie. All right, Julius, you're on. I'm just winging it. Paulie. All right, Julius, you're on. I'm just winging it. All right, Julius, you're on. I'm just winging it. Yeah, they can't hear you.
What's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
Finally, I fixed it. I figured it
Oh,
out.
what's up? All good. All good.
Right.
All good. We finna cook.
My
We finna
man,
cook.
what's crack-a-lacking? Let's do it. What you got your eyes on?
We're gonna have this. I like what you say. Safety net. Safety net parlays. Little 2-legger, 3-legger, plus money. I like what you Brown by KO. I think Dukar at this point, he once was a legitimate journeyman, but now I think he's there for the taking.
Let
Edwards, I don't know. You familiar?
Yep,
Reese Edwards, okay. I
yep.
like
So,
Edwards
guys,
on the money line.
before we move on, Jay, I'm gonna write this down in real time, and then I'll send it to the Discord for the boys who miss it. So wherever you guys in the world, check your books. Julius likes Pat Brown by knockout. We're putting together a plus money parlay, so don't get all crazy when you're like, if the book, because my book's only giving it $1.20, but I that's where this fight's going. So $1.20 or not, we're taking the money with Pat Brown by knockout. You said Reese.
Reese on the money line.
Okay. Let's see what that's paying. So right now we got Pat Brown. Add that. We'll go Reese on the money line. He is fighting. He's on that UK card, right?
He's on the
The other DAZN
Dubois.
card.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dubois
Koba.
versus that's on the BBC is on in America.
Yeah.
We can get on Triller for those who got Triller. BBC come
Okay.
on BBC Sports come on Triller in America.
Yeah. So I taped that Gully Power guy. Reese Edwards should handle this guy easily, right? I
Okay.
think 27% return is, in terms of like an easy fight, it's not bad. I mean, you're getting more value than the Pat Brown knockout. You know what I'm saying? So we're putting these on the same ticket, right?
Yeah.
What else you got?
And I like Riley by money line.
Same. And that's a triple. We're at, so that's it's at $1.97, 97% return.
Okay.
So at
Okay, on my books, I got that like a plus 105. Okay. And some books it may
oh,
be a
do
little
you?
different. Cause yeah, what you got, Riley?
A dollar
What
33.
he's $1.33. Okay, move on you. Okay. Cause
Yeah.
hold on.
He was at $1.48 a couple nights ago. So a lot
Okay.
a lot of money's coming in on him.
Um now it's 2 heavyweight fights.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm kind of now. It's a guy he fighting on and Tim Zoo. Put Tim Zoo on there, man. Tim Zoo
Oh yeah.
money line. Tim Zoo
Oh
money
yeah.
line.
There you go. You're plus money now. Now
Yeah,
now
Tim
we're
Zoo.
at adult. We're at plus 115 here, boys. So and I sign off on this. I'm gonna we'll call this our live stream parlay. The Julius special. So if you guys go Pat Brown by knockout, Reese Edwards, Vidal Riley, and Tim Zoo on the money line, that's plus 110. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all you can ask for. That's one ticket. Boom. You want to build another one?
Okay. I like Cortez and Garcia distance.
Okay, so Cortez versus Erickson Garcia, the distance. My book isn't giving me a prop yet, but I'll,
Okay.
I'll, I'll
Okay.
highlight. I'll highlight that.
Okay.
Do you got it? Is your book showing any of the Japanese cards?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm, see, I'm getting at minus 270. I like the over 10.5. And for those who little more confident, take the distance. Me, I just always try to take the least committal, the least. When I can get it, when I can get the over under slightly more than the distance, I take the over. Just to be, what I'm saying, just to give me a little.
You're talking the Cortez fight.
Well, no, no, I take the distance on that, and I'm talking about the Santiago Taniguchi.
Okay, so you rather than taking Santiago on the money line, you like I have Santiago on points. I took I gave the
Okay,
boys, my prop of the one of my prop of the week at plus 120 is Santiago on points. But you like this fight to go the distance just in case of an upset. Will it go the distance? Yes. Yeah, it's not plus, it's still 52% return, which is like depending on your bankroll, a 52% return for big betters is what they're looking for. So guys in our Discord who are betting like 1,000 on that would get 500 in return. So it just really depends on the bankroll. So guys, if your bankroll's heavy, listen to Julius. Will the fight go the distance? I don't see either one of these guys stopping each other. But if you're like a parlay guy, a prop guy, this is my prop of the week right now is Renee on points at plus 120.
okay. Because in my, to me, how long can Santiago go to Japan and keep knocking off guys?
Well, well, this will be he's won his last two on points. So the thing is,
Okay.
the difference with this narrative is in 2025, the first time he went to Japan, he was a dog, and we took him as our underdog. It might have been the last two times because he went in and won his belt as well. I think it was either a 50-50 or he was a slight dog. So I like playing patterns of our own sort of recognition. And in 2025, we're 2-0 with Santiago as the dog and on the money line, both winning decisions. So this is his third fight going to Japan. This time he has the belt around his waist defending. And I just think the points, I'm just riding that sort of pattern.
Yeah, Santiago, he does have good footwork, and in Japanese boxing, very few do. And I see why he easily goes over there and essentially schools those guys. I see where
Yep.
you okay.
Do you remember when
Um,
Sugar? You remember when uh the kid who just got dog walked against Navarro against Navarrete. Sugar Nunez. Sugar Nunez did the same thing when he came over to Japan, and I think it was Rikishi or Mishinoro,
mhm.
and he used that volume, that pace, that output, that Mexican style, and so the Mexicans do have a lot of luck going over to Japan.
Yeah. What's the name? Have you? I don't have. I haven't looked. You dropped some on Wilder Chisora. Well, I mean, for me,
Yeah,
like. I don't know if you look at his Chisora interviews. I get what you're saying. Is he sleep? He just the man just has taken so much. I haven't seen a heavyweight boxer take more punishment since I really got involved in the mid 2010s. I've kept up with man. Chisora been taking beatings since way back in Klitschko, and I feel like does he have another 12 rounds in him? A lot of times he been going 10. He been backing out of 12-round fights. Look this up. He been on fight week backing out of 12 round fights. Um, and it's going
I'm not.
20.
Yeah, I'm not overthinking this. Deontay Wilder is completely awful in my opinion.
I
I
said no
think that
distance. No distance. Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, I think Chisora's dude. Chisora at 36 wins as a heavyweight. He's put together a pretty goddamn good career. This most recent version of him, he asked for this fight. He's the A side, 50th pro fight. Wilder just fought a D level Herndon and struck. He did not look good against Herndon. Look at Herndon's resume. Who he has his wins over. He's fighting guys getting knocked out against guys who are 0-2, and it was a standing stoppage. In the mid rounds with Wilder. Wilder's. I mean, have fun betting on this fight. I don't even know if I have action on this fight. Let me double check, just because I might have. I've given out 6 tickets. Yeah, right now, if anything, I would play Chisora by knockout. I don't. There's nothing left in my opinion of
Yeah.
Wilder.
Yeah,
But but
and
this but the Chisora on the money line, 52% return is a nice parlay piece.
I like under 10.5 because to be honest with you, Wild to me, he needs money because recently he been having interviews talking about how people stole money from him.
Did you
I
see the
mean,
one today he did? Did you see the
he
interview
did one
today?
today.
Oh my
He's
god.
another guy,
Uh,
somebody else stealing money.
no, he was on Pierce Morgan in the UK with Chisora and he was hold up. Hold up. I'm about to just bro.
He was
Bro,
on Piers Morgan. Okay.
I'm gonna play 30 seconds.
She ejected my sperm and her and ran in the bathroom and locked the door. And that's how we had her. Really? Yeah. Truth be told, she don't even know I know this. Wow. But I'm telling it on to the world. How do you know that? I'm smart. You know, when we was having sex, when I came, I used to come on her stomach. I used to
What?
hold my towel nicely by the bed because I would want to wipe it off of her stomach.
Yeah.
This particular
This
time.
cat is crazy, dog. That's all,
Man.
dude. We lost Deontay many years ago when he did ayahuasca. We we lost Deontay is gone, boys. He's not when we were younger, Deontay. We lost him when he was doing psychedelics. Never the same guy. Dude, watch that whole thing. He out here crazy. He was, I folded up my little towel, because I would wipe it off. I'm like, what are you talking? Chisora's right next to him. Like, anyway, I think that, yeah. Did you watch Chisora versus Wallen? Wallen is by no means washed. Chisora, did he gets hit a lot. He did what he's gonna do. He's gonna throw way more volume, and he's just gritty and dirty. And I think he stops. I think he stops Wilder
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, Wilder this week reminds me of Ryan Garcia,
against
and
Haney.
I mean it because I'm saying because I what I just seen from Piers Morgan, you could say he playing mind game because I'm pretty sure yes, Joe, everybody thrown off by the guy. But one thing about I mean, yes, Chisora, but I don't like how Chisora looks at the end of the fight sometimes. He looks like if you, in that Joe Joyce fight, at the end of the fight, the dude looked like he couldn't do to it. He's you know what I'm saying? He plays like this game at the end of he'll run to the ropes and he'll kind of lean on the ropes a little bit, do a rope a dope. I'm just saying the guy looks like any
Guys, bet on this fight at your own risk. I was telling the boys
under
all
10 and a
week.
half. Under 10
Yeah,
and a half.
yeah, for sure. I just don't like. Wilder's 40 years old. He's not 26 like Ryan was fighting Devin. You know what I mean? That's a big thing at 40, and he hasn't looked good in 5 years. And he's so limited in everything he does. His footwork, his balance, his punch selection. He can't fight off the back foot. Like I bet Wilder at your own risk. Bet this fight at your own risk. It's an entertainment bet for me. I'm gonna sprinkle Chisora by knockout.
Uh, do you and I want to ask you this. How are you feeling about the Filipino guy with
Chidurin?
Magsayo
Magsayo?
Magsayo
Uh,
versus
Ma- I think that Magsayo could punch. I like that fight. I'm not getting any props on that fight, but I have him on a parlay.
okay.
Why you? What do you see?
I mean, is that a showcase fight? Is they trying to
Uh, oh yeah, yeah. Magsayo's. He's fighting the Irish kid, Fergal McCrory. Yeah, McCrory is a guy who we've seen him every time he stepped up get. He got spanked a couple different times. Magsayo, I think I like Magsayo. they've been wanting to get him a big fight for a while. Wow, you think him exiled by stoppage?
I mean, yeah, more I look at it. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I'm not getting props when props open. Like I said, Max Siles on my safety net parlay. I got a lot of faith in him doing what he wants to do against McCrory. And when props open, it's hard for me to make an assessment regarding props method of victories when I'm not seeing the odds. I already know I love Magsayo. If I could grab him at plus money, or like what maybe the fight not to go the distance, what that reads, I'll look into it.
and I probably say, like, one talk about last few fights. Have you looked at the Matty Harris versus Franklin Unitas fight?
No, I saw it on my odds, and I know that because, guys, if you're new to the channel, what we do here is we break down fights. We not only bet on them, but we do our film study research. And you might be hearing Julius and I talking about a lot of matchups that you have no idea who these guys are. It's because we're seeking out odds plays. We're seeking out, the value in the bet. And this is one of those fights that I think, what is it, 50-50 on paper? No, Matty Harris is a $1.27 versus Franklin Ignatius. I got a couple messages that said Matty Harris, new coach, looking great in camp. He should do what he wants to do against this guy.
Yeah, I think the by stoppage when it like right now the odds haven't dropped. I like that by stoppage. I like that by early stoppage. To me,
Okay.
Ignitus is he's just a big dude who look intimidating, but nah.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite things, Julius, about going live with you when we talk about these fights is that you show your cards after because you don't want your opinion to persuade my view. And I appreciate that what you do. Because every time you bring up a fight, it's not like you talk about, hey, pull that Matty Harris up. Matty Harris is gonna starch Ignatius. You go, hey, what do you think about that fight? How do you see it going? And then when I give you my read, then you add it, it's good. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not convoluting. This isn't an echo chamber. If we disagreed, you'd let me know.
Yeah, and I probably say no, the fight that intrigued me the most this weekend is the Bentley versus Saavedra. To me, I think that's the fight of the weekend. For the
Stand
hardcore fans. Yeah.
100%, man. Before I give you, give me your read on. You go first this time.
The fact that it's in London, just go strictly business off rip. I'm that's heavily in favor of Bentley, but Bentley hasn't fought in a year, and Bentley has had episodes where he gets beat like you by
Haney,
um
Nate.
Haney and Haney behind, like if you watch, like it was not close. It was not a close fight. But but I will say this: when he's on, he's a sharp puncher. And Saavedra, he's slow feet. He doesn't move a lot. And because he's so power focused, he leaves himself open a lot. He just, and to me, he lost to a Tundi, the guy the journeyman guy. You know what I'm saying? So he got
Yeah,
a bad loss.
yeah. Atundi just won us money 4 weeks ago when we took the younger Dominican and he showcased on him.
And
So, so how? So here's what I see with it, and I agree with you. This fight has been rescheduled 2 times. This was supposed to go down at the end of 2025. So when people were talking about, because I've had a lot of people in my inbox about this fight, a lot of people expecting me to take Saavedra as the dog, and I just don't see it. When you listen to Frank Warren talk, Denzel Bentley was supposed to fight twice last year. He didn't. He wasn't inactive because of anything was wrong. It was because Janabek Elamhanale busted for steroids and he got suspended. Bentley was the number one contender for that rematch against Janabek. Going into the championship rounds when he fought Alam the first time, I think in 2021, 2022, it was an even fight going into the 11th. He lost the last 2 championship rounds and lost a decision. He had a letdown, a head scratcher against Nathan Heaney. And this recent version of Denzel Bentley, though, his last 4 fights, they call him too sharp for a reason. It's his jab for me. It's his speed and his jab and how he can neutralize his opponent's offense, what they want to do with that jab. Also, Saavedra, his best punch is his backhand. He wants to sit there and throw that backhand. He's a tough Venezuelan fighter. I thought he lost to Mateo Tapia. Mateo Tapia is a kid from Sydney. Tapia walks into his first ever boxing gym in 2019, and he dropped Saavedra, and Saavedra had to drop him in return for that to even become a draw. Saavedra has a great amateur background. He's been fighting his whole life, and Tapia had him in real trouble. And I don't like his feet cement, in my opinion. I don't like his punch selection. And the interesting thing about Saavedra, though, is for how slow his feet are, his hands aren't as slow. He kind of has sneaky sort of explosion on his punches. He could kind of rip them. And so when Denzel has these sort of lulls in punching, or he'll take kind of moments off and around, he is susceptible with getting hit. I expect Denzel to be sharp. I think this is his time. I think that he really wants that get back against Alam Hunalay. And when Bentley's at his best, he handles this guy no problem. I think I like Bentley to stop him.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and I would say under 10 and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, and yeah, and also, man, Sevilla's 35.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
Savija
30.
turns 35. Yep, he turns 35 this month.
Yeah,
He might actually turn 36 this month then,
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. He is
yeah.
35. Yeah, mid 30s. I see why people, he could, the guy that maybe people he reminds people of is a like a Barroso type guy.
Uh-huh.
Latin America strong man. I
Tough,
was tough.
durable.
What's that guy? He had a couple upsets in America, but Boots stopped him brutally, and he
Roman
lost to
Villa. Roman
Roman
Villa.
Villa. That type of and that type of style, man, is a sharp shooter because they gonna be there to be hit. But that type of style will bruise up a boxer, a finesse guy. They have no chance. But Bentley's not a finesse guy. He's coming in like, man, how Bentley starts Ozazi, who be
Osazi.
giving up and comers the next guy supposed to be in line hard fights. He
Tough.
just he
Starched him.
just starched them out
Bro,
cold.
he's a really accurate puncher.
Mhm.
For because I know we don't have an echo chamber. We got boys in our group who've taken Saavedra. I see it. I get it. He has a path to victory. But when we talk about all this, when you add in the politics, when we add in trajectory and where these careers are going, I think Bentley by either points or stoppage is better value than Saavedra as the dog.
And
I don't
they in Europe, man. They quick with them early stoppages, man. You know
that
that.
Frank Warren boy. Yep, that Frank Warren joint. So let's talk to some of the boys real quick. We got Barry unboxing. Bentley hasn't fought in 16 months. We covered that. There might be some ring rust there. He's not even 30. I think he's just turned 30. I don't think younger guys that age in his prime is gonna have to deal with ring rust. But he'll settle in because Saavedra has no head movement, stiff upper body, and bad feet. Yeah, Barry unboxing. He does really good write ups and analysis in our Discord. And so shout out to Barry Unboxing, man. Appreciate his input. He also says he's ineffective outside of phone booth. Guys, and if you're new to the channel, like this video. Julius and I aren't trying to talk you out of any of your bets, and we're not trying to sit here on a platform and say that we're experts or we know everything. Our word is bond. Follow your intuition, watch your own tape, see what you like. You're just getting our perspective. But more importantly, you're getting our bets because you guys see all of our tickets before the fights happen. And so you also know when we're right and when we're wrong. I think that transparency is why our community is growing and so strong. We got a lot of sharps in there because of that. But I agree, bro. This fight for me is the one I'm most excited about. Bentley versus Saavedra. Um, what, did you? I wanted to ask you about the. Did you tape Tim Tszyu's opponent? Yeah, or do you know anything about Dennis Nurja?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I
Do you
haven't.
have
No,
that?
I haven't really
Okay.
looked into that card.
Okay.
I haven't. I'm planning to look into the Sam Gooden opponent too, cause I want to see how he looks because he coming back down to 122. I'm kind of like,
Yep.
okay. Sometimes say, okay, that's
I was at the Sam Goodman Reese Salim fight, and Reese Salim is a dog, really, really good boxer. Reese Salim lost. Sammy Goodman outboxed the shit out of him, and Reese Salim is fighting for a world title at 126 against Angela Leo upcoming. That just goes to show you how good Goodman is. Goodman was paired to fight Naoya Inoue multiple times. That shows you how good Goodman is. Goodman, I thought was winning a lot of rounds against Nick Ball, especially mid to late rounds. And if I didn't get that fight, Nick Ball versus Sam Goodman, we didn't have that as evidence of Nick Ball's flaws, I don't know if I would have taken Figueroa to beat Nick Ball. I feel like Sam Goodman showcased a lot of flaws in Nick Ball's game that allowed me to be comfortable with Figgy beating him, and we were spot on. So I think Sammy Goodman on points is an excellent bet here. And I do have action on that. He is fighting a tough Argentinian kid. He moves a lot. He's going to be he can pop. He has a little bit of punching power. But remember, guys, this card is in Wollongong, Australia. It's an hour south of Sydney. This is Sam Goodman's hometown, and he's a no limit boxing. We historically A side, A side, A side, A side. So they would bring this kid in to get some good looks. I'd be shocked. I don't think he's live, Ruiz. I think Goodman handles him easily.
And one thing I noticed about the Australian fights, outside of Haney going to Australia,
Which wasn't a
they
that wasn't a no limit promotion though, by the way.
especially
Because
on the zoo cards, the no
yeah,
limit
the
you
zoo
create
card.
no limit card. I don't see because I felt like Pyro lost that fight.
Oh, against David Popo,
I mean you can make a
bro,
case.
bro. Mate, we weren't crying because our parlay stayed live, but he struggled his ass off with the Frenchman, dude. People, you got. I agree, bro. Like he was in trouble. He got hurt early. His body language was not right. It was Perro's first fight at 47. He struggled with the size. Popo came down from 160, way tougher than all of us thought. Popo was way better than I thought he was. I got to
Well,
be
yeah,
honest with you.
and like what I learned from that is that yeah, that them zoo cars, man, they bring it. They not bringing, and they had that one fight that really made me quit. I remember before Zarafa quit against Zook, he fought a guy that he
Oh,
stopped in the round, and I
in
said,
the
hold up,
first round,
no limit putting this on pay-per-view.
that was the
I
Nikita Zoo
mean,
card. Same thing with
and I'm like,
Nikita.
man. I'm like, what kind of like y'all? I'm like, so when I see
You
Zoo fighting an unknown guy, when I see Goodman fighting, I'm just automatic. I'm taking him in line, put him in it. Something it's like,
you've
how
heard me
big of
say
an upset?
feeder. You've heard me say feeder fights before.
Okay, feeder fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
let's feed. We out here feeding our boys because the goal is for No Limit is to grassroots organically grow the homeboys in Australia and then bring them to the international market. The last thing they want to do is have one of their boys lose on home soil and miss that step to get to the international market. So, and then Cambosis was never signed with No Limit. So those Devin Haney fights weren't. I think they might have been matchroom. I'd have to
And
look. I
is Ja on a no limit? Was he on no
no,
limit?
yeah, he was, and then he signed with Zuffa.
Okay, because he was getting them type fights too, where it's
Feed
like
him,
the guy,
feed
yeah,
me,
the guy
baby.
who coming in, and this is what people in the chat need to pick up on this. Yes, when you go on the betting site, they just have this name and that name. But seriously, man, these guys, some of these guys, they bring it into these cards. They brought in to lose feeder fights. They just brought in have a shiny record. The
Yep.
Tim Zoo guy, shiny record. But it's like
Dennis
there is
Nurja.
no money in bringing an unknown Albanian in beating the cash cow in Australia. There's no money in
Yeah,
that. So it's like that just business wise. He got
yeah.
a all he got is a punch of chance. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what we're doing though with the platform is educating people how to not just look at odds and pick a winner, but understand the politics of the matchup. And we know, like top rank cards, A sides generally win. No limit cards, A sides generally win. The new Zuffa promotion, a lot of dogs have been winning. UK cards, we know that refs have early stoppages, so the knockout prop is kind of in play. Like the Chantel Cameron fight, we kind of there's that MVP card with some girls on it. I think we're going to see some stoppages only due to what's happened recently on the last MVP card with the girl getting put into an induced coma. Thankfully, she came out of it, and I think that has a lot to do with fighter safety lately. That I wouldn't be surprised if on that MVP female card with Caroline Dubois and Terry Harper that we see some stoppages. So just have a look at the books. I'm like 60-40 jump thinking Elisa Bumgarner stops Terry Harper. Oh, my bad. My bad.
Hmm.
Carolyn Dubois stops Terry Harper 60-40 right now. So
I perfect like
it's
that. That
important to
could
know
be
the
a feeder
politics.
fight. That could be a
It's
feeder
important.
fight because she up in
It's
age,
important.
man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Terry's only 29.
Oh my
Carolyn
bad.
Dubois, but she
Okay.
turned over when she was 18.
Okay.
Caroline or Terry Harper had that big fight. She got stopped against Elisa Bumgarner in 2021. She got stopped against Sandy Ryan. The thing is, Sandy Ryan stopped her at 147. She was getting her ass beat. AB stopped her at 130. She quit. She turned her back. She got stopped on her feet. It was bad. And then she's a three-division world champion, but if things aren't going her way, if Terry Harper isn't able to just control everything with her jab, she's technical. She has a little bit of craft. The minute she's on her back foot and there's pressure, she falls apart. And Carolyn Dubois is that girl. She's gonna put it on her. And so I could see a world, and I know Carolyn hasn't had a stoppage in a few years. I could see a world where Dubois stops her. And I know Dubois fades slightly as the fight goes on. So I definitely like Dubois on the money line. I'm just torn on points or stoppage. Either way, you're at plus money.
Yeah. Okay. And
But
yeah.
but I think Tszyu stops Nurja, by the way. Tszyu, guys, you got to understand the big fight this summer is Tim Tszyu versus Errol Spence Jr. The boys down here in Australia already said that fight signed. Media's already talking about it. Football Stadium, Dallas, AT&T, I think, in Dallas. Errol Spence, Tim Tszyu in July. This is Tim Tszyu's second fight with Pedro Diaz. His first fight was his last fight when he fought Anthony Gutierrez or Anthony Gonzalez, and it went the distance. And you saw kind of a cautious Tszyu fighting from the outside. All in all, they bring this kid in who's 18-0, doesn't really punch, Albanian kid, not a lot of people on the resume, decent sort of amateur, but in Albania, he's gonna get. I've heard that Zoo's going in there aggressive as hell. He's gonna mix the new with the old, and he's going for the stoppage. So that's a prop of mine too. Zoo by stoppage.
All right. And I'm gonna just like before I dip, I want to ask you about this fight because this fight, a lot of people writing this guy off. I understand why. Daniel Dubois. I know it's in the future, but a lot of I think that him winning by stoppage, man, gonna be a nice play. That's they really writing Dubois off.
Let's see
Uh,
what it looks like.
uh, uh. And Dubois has only lost to Olympic medalists. Man, people,
Yes,
he lost to a silver medalist and a gold medalist. This is a guy Fabio that doesn't have any amateur background.
zero.
So zero, and I didn't see his face bloodied by Nathan Gorman. I didn't see his face a bloody mess numerous times. I didn't see him beat down numerous times. I feel like, man,
Just as
he's
soon he beat him every. Just as soon he beat that ass until he showcased the world's lowest fight IQ in the 11th round when you're up 10-0 and you choose to punch with a puncher, giving him his only chance to win, and he gets caught. Like what the? That fight, I talk about it all the time. It triggers me. Should haunt Justice Uni for the rest of his life. That decision. That decision. Like you give Wardley his only option to win in the 11th, and he
and
did.
questionable stoppage and nothing from England. Because a lot of places, I'm saying, because if Wardley was beating Hooney like that, I remember it was a point of
Okay.
fight with Fabio bent down. You know what I'm saying? He got one on
Yeah.
that one. That's why I think
Okay.
Dubois a Brit versus a Brit. Yeah.
Okay, I think also you bring up a very valid point. I did not look at the odds. You guys, you know me, I'm a week to week guy because of what we do. But this is in 2 weeks, so it's coming up. I think a big thing with Daniel Dubois' psychology, the mental. I think he's going to be one of these guys moving forward. Is when he goes into fights as sort of like a favorite, or when people are talking good about him, he might start drinking his own Kool Aid per se, and he has sort of letdown performances. But he also seems to be a guy when you put him in a corner psychologically, and people are telling him that he's the underdog when he's in London against a Fabio Wardley. I guarantee we're going to see the best version of Dubois. I expect though, but the contrast, the people who question him is that same mental state. We've seen him give up on himself before. We've seen him question should he be in the ring before. So it is a risky one. On paper, the logic definitely sides with Dubois though. Like for what you said.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you letting me come on, man. It starts Friday, y'all. And I don't know. There are some cards later in the day on Friday. Haven't dropped the odds on. Have you looked into those? It's a couple of the
The
zone fights, club level
Yeah,
fights.
There's a couple club level fights. What I'm doing here, where my mind is going to this weekend, guys, and to you, Julius, is let's get through Japan first, because like there, we
Okay.
know the longer we are in this game, there are no guarantees, there are no locks. Let's get Renee, let's get him winning. Renee is on a lot of our parlays, and then because those fights go down in less than 24 hours.
All right, man.
Yeah,
All
so
right, man.
yeah,
Get
thanks for
the
stopping through, Jay. All right, guys. Hopefully you like that. That was Julius. All the boys in our Discord know Julius. He's one of our local sharps. We have a bunch of them in our group. We have a very educated chat. If you guys aren't in the Discord, the link is pinned. Johnny says boxing. We're approaching. We just passed 450. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit. I got a little bit of time. We're 45 minutes in. We're floating between 70 and 90. Like this video and let's get some questions in. So high interest said, "What's up, my boy? High interest, Unks, we up." I had Wardley by knockout in that fight, and I got Wardley by knockout. Okay, let's see what those odds are paying. So Wardley by knockout plus 130. Interesting. Look, this I got to be honest with you, high interest. My I don't have a lot of faith in Daniel. I'm sorry, guys. It it doesn't seem like Daniel's 40 years old. He's young. He's still young. He has so much. It's hard for me. If this was any other sport other than boxing, I wouldn't be as cautious about betting on Daniel Dubois. But because it's a combat sport, psychology matters. For everything Julius said about why he likes Dubois, about he's seen Wardley get that ass beat, he's seen Wardley get touched up, he's seen Wardley get beat up. But the one thing he's never seen is Wardley lose. Why? Because Wardley doesn't give up on himself. So for all of that, which I do agree about why he's picking Dubois, on the same token, you could easily say that's why you're picking Wardley. This is a guy who's in every fight, even when his nose is rearranged. Wasn't Fraser Clark the first fight when his face is bloody, when he's Huny, where he has no answers against Justice. He's not frustrated at all. You rewatch the Huny fight in between rounds. He's still trying to figure out a way to win. That is a dangerous guy. That's a very dangerous guy. You mix that with the sort of one punch knockout power he has, the self belief. I mean, it's tough to bet against that. It's tough to bet against that. Daniel could punch too. Talk about a freaking fight, guys. That's a great fight. Dubois panics when he gets hit with shots he doesn't see, like some Usyk hit him with Wardley. However, he'll see all those shots coming and eat them like he did against AJ and Hergovich. Damn, man, we got a lot of great fights coming up. And Wardley got extremely dangerous power. I can't see Dubois taking the shots. Let's see. Let's see something real quick, boys. Dubois is only 28 years old. Time flies, man. I remember when Daniel was 25. I thought he was like 26 still. He's 28. 22-3. His 3 losses, he's been stopped 3 times. His 22 wins, 21 of them are by way of knockout. 6'5", massive guy. Like, where is his head at? Coming off that Usyk dismantling. Wardley 20-0, 19 knockouts. He has that 1 draw. He's 31, a little bit older. 6'5". These guys are massive, dude. Both 6'5". It's just hard to bet against this dude. You can see it in his eyes. There's just a certain self-belief that some fighters have. Best wins. Dude, the Joe Parker. Obviously the resume, everything, like all the other stuff, the pedigree, the amateur, the resume is all on Dubois' side. But it's really, Wardley just seems like there's guys that come along in our sport every now and then that it's just really tough to bet against them because they just seem to always will themselves to a victory. They're just ultra determined. You know he'll never give up on himself. And so logic says Dubois should win. Like the boxing acumen, the technique, the pedigree, the seasoning of everything, the resume says Dubois. But sometimes in boxing, logic gets thrown out the window when you have extraneous variables like willpower, an unbreakable mind, astonishing power, self belief. So it's an interesting fight. I can't wait to break this fight down. I'm 100% doing a Stats Don't Lie video on this fight. If you guys haven't seen the Stats Don't Lie video of Tszyu and Dennis Nurja, that's up on the channel. I put it up 2 days ago. Let me know what you think. Guys, we're floated between 60 and 80 in the live. Like this video. Jay Sai, my guy, says if Tszyu loses this weekend, the Rose brothers will be crying. They won't let him lose if it was to go the distance. Yeah. This Dennis Nurja guy's not on Timmy's level. Guys, I think the world needs to kind of like reassess how you view Tim Tszyu because you guys were the ones telling me last week. Gary from 3D was telling me last week that Keith Thurman was Hall of Famer, that Keith Thurman was going to dog walk and make it look easy against Seb Fedora. Now, we know that wasn't the case. Tim Tszyu, both times, fought Seb Fedora way more tough than Thurman did. So maybe it's Tim Tszyu's a little bit better than people think he is. I think it's time people probably should give Tim Tszyu a little bit more credit. You know, I think Tim Tszyu's going to go out there and starch this Nurja guy. Not a fan as Dubois as a boxer. I think Wardley has a better chance if the fight goes on. Pick his shots better. Dude, I just get excited watching two heavyweights in their prime, both 6'5", standing in the. This is gonna be one of those fights when both fighters in the ring, we're all watching it and our palms will be sweaty because the shit could end any punch. It could be over just like that. Kiza, Dubois gonna steamroll him. Ooh, I could see that happening. Like Wardley plays a really dangerous game. Will Wardley be, because Justice Huni isn't the biggest of punchers. A lot of Justice was winning every round and dominating on the scorecards, just outboxing him at range, timing, setting him up. But like when you're not getting hit with like really powerful shots, you're always in the fight, especially if you're durable, which he is. Dubois has power. I don't know how many times Wardley will be able to get hit clean against Dubois and still be standing. So you bring up a good point. Is anyone going to do it? It's Daniel Dubois. If anyone is going to do it, it's Daniel Dubois. It's good to see Dubois fans in here, man, because like I hate when people pile on a guy when they lose, and I also hate when people jump on the bandwagon when they win. But like, it's good to see that Dubois still has, Dubois is a legit, it's the toughest sport in the world, man. These guys are literally going in front of the world half naked and getting either knocking out or getting knocked out in front of the whole world to see. It's fucking brutal, man. We got to respect our fighters. So it's good to see people are still siding with Dubois. I don't know where I'm at yet. I'm 50-50. I expect Dubois to outbox Wardley and finish him late. He's just got to avoid that big right hand from Wardley. But guys, rewatch Wardley's tape. He has more than just that backhand, though. He has a little bit of sauce to him. Wardley has a little bit of trickiness to him. He has more than that. You can't just relegate Wardley to the Deontay Wilder corner. You know what I mean? How like Deontay Wilder, people try to compare him to Wilder. Wardley has a lot more seasoning, a lot more sauce, a lot more craft to his game. Especially with the strength, the power, the explosion, his legs. I like how calm he is in there too. You never see him really look underwater, even when he's getting touched. He's kind of still learning on the job, guys. You heard Julius. He had no amateur career. This was a white-collar boxer. This was a guy who was a recruiter in London. And this is a thing in Australia, too. We have white-collar boxing. So, big gyms, Bondi Boxing Club, they'll, sponsor a white collar fight night, and it'll be like an 8 to 10 week program that a lot of like the recruiters, accountants, lawyers will sign up to. And then, you sell tickets, you have a ring walk, and you're fighting other recruiters, accountants, lawyers, this sort of thing. It's at a little arena. This is how Wardley got his start, doing that. Do ball stoppage. Been from him not wanting to go on. That's that thing. That's that thing. Yo, dog, that's that thing. Dog, that's my man's in them. Only person I can see being perfect, all 12, is Usyk. He was special. He was special, though. Usyk was so special that people, whenever a guy is special, you can't, people will start hating. Like, perfection leads itself to a lot of speculation and a lot of perfection in anything, because it's, unlike art, for instance, if you look at like a Salvador Dali painting, Dali is one of my favorite artists. He was a surrealist. One of his famous paintings was The Persistence of Time. He would do LSD. He wrote about this in a book called Becoming Dali. He would do LSD, and he would fill up 2 buckets of paint, and he would stand and hold each one in each hand, and he'd be on LSD. And when one of the buckets would drop, he would take the white canvas and he would paint what he saw. And that's how he accomplished this genre called surrealism. Things melting off the table, clocks melting, things looking like a dream. But it's all, it's all up to the viewer's opinion. It's opinionated. It's perspective. Is that perfection? Or if you look at like a Jackson Pollock painting, Jackson Pollock was a guy, an impressionist, a lot of black blotches, a lot of things that just look crazy. Looks like he's just throwing things up against the canvas. But he's called a master and an expert. But that's still up to the viewer's perspective. With boxing, we have records. You see the art, but if you have a perfect record, you've been perfect. Even that will be critiqued by people. This guy is perfect. So, it's just one of those things. Usyk was, he was just always switched on, always locked in, always professional, always came ready, always came in shape. The thing with Usyk is you didn't only have to beat Usyk, the physical body, you had to beat his mind. Very, very intelligent fighter. I really like Morrell over Smith, especially now that he's with Coach Salas. I like Coach Salas. This shout out to our chat. I tell you guys this every day, every live. The more you guys get to know me, the more you know I love coaching. I'm a coach. I love stats like this. You find out who's coaching a certain guy, man, we'll become friends, because these are angles that we use to bet on fighters. Think about it. Think about we find out, oh, a guy's training with Robert Garcia now. Oh shit, his body punch is going to be on point. Oh shit, a guy's with Abel Sanchez now. This sort of thing. So these are good points to know. I did not know Morrell was training with Salas. Jack Catterall is training with Bozy. Next thing you know, Catterall goes in his next fight and gets a stoppage. Appreciate Abdul Rahim. Listen to Abdul Rahim. Hello, everyone. How are you? Like and subscribe. You guys are great at boxing. Thank you, brother. Appreciate your support. I'm going to go over. So he says, prediction, Pat Brown. I like Pat Brown by knockout. Wilder versus Chisora. Chisora. It's hard for me to bet on Wilder. Price versus Aquino. I haven't read that fight yet. Caroline versus Harper. Caroline. Tszyu beats Nurja. Fury beats Makhmudov. Smith Morrell. I'm still kind of torn. We got a couple weeks for that. Oakley Yoka. A couple weeks for that. Miller Perro, couple weeks. Ramirez. I think David Benavidez shines there. Wardley is a Jared Hurd. He takes a beating until you get tired and then knock you out. Dude, Jared was fun when he was fun, man. Jared, man, when Jared Hurd was on his little run, he was a fun guy to watch. Catch and shoot. It's a good point. Finally caught alive. We appreciate you, big dog. Skim is the gunsmith. 817 in the house. Betting on Wardley is a true gamble. Dubois got popped, but not that one shot like Wardley. If Wardley defense sucks, even a ref stoppage may be live. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. We have so many good fights coming up, boys. The fights start tomorrow in Japan. Rene Santiago defending his belt. Let's go. We also on that card, the Japanese card, we have another fun fighter. We have action on. Marlon Tapalis. Marlon Tapalis is fighting a Goonie. So the Japanese cards are always fun. How do you feel about Tszyu under pressure when he gets hit with a big shot? He doesn't know how to handle himself. Game plan goes out the window and goes into survival mode. Well, we only saw that against Bakker Murtazaev. You know, he was getting hit with big shots against Tszyu. I mean, it's why against Seb. It's why he changed camps, though. It's why he changed coaches. If you know anything about Pedro Diaz is a very technical coach. He's not a motivator. I talked about this in my breakdown. For Tszyu to rip up the script and change his entire camp and leave his father's coaches and leave everybody he's ever known and go do camps in America, that tells me a lot about his psyche. Pedro Diaz is a legendary Cuban coach who is famous for his game plan strategies, his footwork, his technique of the craft. So we got to see this on full display in Tszyu's last fight. You saw how, I don't want to use the word cautious, but how less interested he was into jumping into the fire when he didn't have to. So, you know, with that being said, I like that. I like that this will be a second full camp. With a technical coach, it usually takes you a few camps to kind of build the trust between fighter and coach. I like what I'm seeing. I like what both guys have been saying. I like the drills I've been watching with Tszyu. I think Tszyu steamrolls this guy, and I'm excited to see a Tszyu versus Errol Spence Jr. fight. If Tszyu goes out here and looks how everybody that's telling me that he's going to look, I mean, you guys might be kind of shocked. I think Spence might be the underdog in that fight, all things considered. I think Dubois and Worley will make a good fight purely based off of their styles. I don't think they're the greatest boxers, but that they're heavyweights, bro. They're heavyweights. You know, if we're talking about you don't think they're the best boxers, Deontay Wilder will be in the Hall of Fame when he retires, and he can't box. Deontay Wilder doesn't know how to box. So when you're 6'6", 6'7", and you have lightning in one hand, you don't need to box, man. Let me land this. Let me land this once and see what time it is. And Wilder, you know, built a Hall of Fame career off of that. So at this size, it's not like they're flyweights needing to rely on technique and skill. But that's why we love the heavyweights, brother. You know everything. I don't know everything. There's always something to learn. I was raised in Youngstown, Ohio, though. I've been in Australia for over, holy shit, 13 years. Where does the time go? I've been here for 13 years. That's crazy. Johnny, I know you love plus money. What do you think about Inoue? Yep. Inoue Benavidez boots. I like it. It's just too many talking points. I don't want to sell Junto short. I don't want to sell Xander short. I think David Benavidez has the easiest fight against Zerto. I just think Zerto, when I watch Zerto box, he reminds me that he's either wearing like a weighted suit or he's like shadow boxing underwater. I think Benavidez will be too much. Sue was the boogeyman. Dude, you remove, like, I don't like doing like revisionist history, but you can check the receipts. I've never once gave up on Tszyu because I've seen him fight. He turned over in 2016. I watched him add things to his game. I love his style. I love that front foot style, getting in your face. If you remove the look, the things that have held Tszyu back his whole career are things that you could fix. Fight IQ, strategy, execution. He could punch, dude. The things that he has is he could punch, he could crack, and he's tough and he has the mind for it. And he has the pedigree, being last name Tszyu. Or Jamal Charlo says Tszyu. Jamal Charlo says Tszyu. But he gets clipped early against Murtazaev, and we got to see showcase that his inability to make an adjustment. We also got to see in real time his corner's inability in being real with him and having a game plan. Their game plan was, let's just bully everybody, and that's gonna work because it's always worked. And when it didn't work against Murtazaev, that one fight fooled you guys into thinking that Murtazaev was the boogeyman. Didn't fool me, because raise your hand if you picked Josh Kelly to beat Murtazaev. So I was never sold on Murtazaev. I felt that fight was the bigger story of the Murtazaev Tszyu fight was the story of Tszyu not having a game plan and not being able to, um, you know, make an adjustment. And that's his corner's fault. So, and then he has the Seb Fundora fights. I've always been high on Fundora. This is another thing, man. Dude, Tszyu has been in there with some tough guys. Seb Fundora is a kid who's learning on the fly, who gets better and better. He's 6'6". When you look at the adjustments that Seb Fundora made from Tszyu 1 to Tszyu 2, it is still mind-blowing to me that people still pick Thurman to win. Because all you had to do, and we talked about this all week, you saw Fundora make the adjustment from Tszyu 1, and you could throw in Brian Mendoza. Every fight up until Tszyu 1, Seb fought this way. Gave away his height and reach, and would put his head on your head and fight you in the pocket like a goddamn savage. And we saw how that worked out against Mendoza, and we saw how much he was getting touched up against Tszyu. And then we got to see Tszyu too. And then you saw Seb Fundora fighting at range. You saw him using his jab, using that distance, picking his shots a bit more, not giving so much away. So he's a nightmare for anybody. I don't know if I would pick against Seb Fundora in the next few years, guys. I don't care. I know you guys you'll call me crazy, but I think that he is a freaking problem because he's learning how to fight smart and he's learning how to use his God-given attributes, and he can freaking punch, and he has good punch placement, and he has a good punch. He's a very, very tricky guy. So, and Tszyu did his best until, he was getting hit clean, and then he was, I'm done. I can't, what am I supposed to do with this guy? And all of that aside, people still thought Thurman was going to do something to Fundora, and we saw how that worked out. So what I say all that to say this, I think Tszyu is still the same guy he is. I think he's still that same guy. I think he's a tough out. I think Tim Tszyu is a tough out for anyone at 154. Just because, he's very determined in there. Crawford is in Sydney now. Picking Tszyu. I would definitely pick Tszyu over Spence right now. 100. Hopefully that fight goes down. If we could get Tim at plus money, and I'm a big Arrow fan, it would be shocking. Like, people who would pick Arrow would just be Arrow fans. Like, logically, nobody would pick Arrow. A marauding southpaw who's just been out of the game for so long with so much damage. What's next for Murtazaev? Lubin, Lima, Madrimov. Ooh, I would love to see Madrimov. I know Murtazaev is campaigning for a rematch with Josh Kelly. Guys, I gotta eat. I got a couple more clients. You guys are the best. I'm gonna have some lunch. Virtual hug. JSB Insiders. We